ponytail up.
Well, I'm very false witness.
That wasn't you?
All right. First and foremost, I want to give call Allah, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praise to the Most High God. In the name of His only begotten Son, who were intimately called Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai Mashiach in Hebrew. All right. It's another segment of the couch Captivity created. Yeah. They're gonna start rebuking me in the gate. So yeah, man, y'all see the title. What's the title? Y'all you know the title? I forgot the title.
Slavery.
I thought slavery was over. But once again, we still here. You know? There's a article going around about slavery in Georgia in 2021. Right? If you can, you can go to the article. Yeah, to that article. It'll be on your it'll be in the chat. Come over the show. Yeah. Whenever you're ready, bro.
A years-long human trafficking operation trapped migrant workers in modern-day slavery.
Hold on. Are you on that one?
No,
It's on the other one.
so yeah, that one. Yeah, that one first. All right, this is the first one.
Maybe you don't mind, man. Y'all acting real brand new.
That's on me. That's on me. I was looking hard enough. Okay. All right.
Yeah, go with the one that's docketed.
U.S. DOJ busts sprawling modern-day slavery operation in fields of South Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Department of Justice indicts. It's like the patrician.
She ain't never been to court, y'all.
It's like oh my God. Justice
Don't tell me you
indicts
sleepy, nigga.
the Patricio Transnational Criminal Organization on felony charges of international forced labor trafficking, money laundering. 54-count indictment paints picture of operation staggering scale. 24 arrests, 71,000 farm workers over multiple years, more than $200 million in profits. Quotes from indictment. Patricio TCO unlawfully charged victims 52 and 53 fees that they could not afford. Confiscated their identification documents to prevent them from leaving. Forced them to work in fields, digging up onions with their bare hands, only paid them 20 cents for every bucket they filled with onions, and threatened them with a gun to keep them in line. A member of the Patricio TCO, aided and abetted by defendant Charles Michael King and defendant Stanley Neal McGauley, repeatedly raped, kidnapped, and tried to kill victim number 12. Victim 65 died from a heat stroke when he was outside working in the fields. Last month, we shared breaking news of the indictment of 3 farm labor bosses who had brutally exploited workers in the H-2A guest worker visa program as part of a major modern-day slavery operation on Florida farms. Now, with Thanksgiving just days away, a holiday when families across the U.S. gather around tables full of lovingly prepared food in celebration of our nation's abundant harvest. A second modern-day slavery
You
case.
see what they say?
I'm like, bro.
Now it's about the harvest. That's what we celebrating, the harvest. We ain't celebrating the Indians and the so-called white man coming together to bring peace and everything like that. We done scratched that off the books now because we know better. Now it's about the harvest. Hey, they're smart. It's a lot better than talking about some, because the Pilgrims and the Indians came together to eat, and share, and then the Indians for some reason ended up with smallpox. We don't know what happened, but we did have Thanksgiving dinner though.
Started falling on their own eyes.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
A second modern-day slavery case in as many months involving agricultural guest workers, this time based in South Georgia, is making headlines across the country. From the U.S. Justice Department's press release announcing the indictment. Waycross, Georgia. The newly unsealed 54-count indictment in USA v. Patricio
Versus Patricio
details felony charges resulting from Operation Bloomin' Onion, an organized crime drug enforcement task force's investigation. The multi-agency investigation led by Homeland Security Investigations and other federal agencies spans at least 3 years, and the 53-page indictment documents dozens of victims of modern-day slavery while spelling out the illegal acts that brought these exploited workers into the United States and imprisoned them under inhumane conditions as contract agricultural laborers, said David H. Estes, acting U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Georgia. The American dream is a powerful attraction for destitute and desperate people across the globe. And where there is need, there is greed from those who will attempt to exploit these willing workers for their own obscene profits, said acting U.S. Attorney Estes. Thanks to outstanding work from our law enforcement partners, Operation Bloomin' Onion frees more than 100 individuals from the shackles of modern-day slavery.
Do me a favor. Go to the next article. The next thing I sent you, say justice.gov. You as well. I just put it inside the chat. You said it this.
United States District Court, Southern District of Georgia, Waycross Division. United States of America versus Maria Leticia Patricio, Daniel Mendoza, Neri Renee Carrillo Najarro, Antonio Chavez Ramos, aka Tony Chavez, JC Longoria Castro, Victoriano Chavez Hernandez, Enrique Teke Tovar. Duque.
Where?
This du-
Nigga is doofy, nigga.
as they say, Duque. Jose
That's
Carmen.
Enrique Big Duke.
The bar.
Jose Carmen Duque Tovar. Charles Michael King. Stanley Neil McGauley. Luis Alberto Martinez, aka Chino Martinez. Delia Ibarra Rojas. Juana Ibarra Carrillo. Dana Michelle Rojas, aka Dana Lucio. Margarita Rojas Cardenas, aka Maggie Cardenas. Juan Francisco Alvarez Campos. Rosava Garcia Martinez, aka Chava Garcia. Esther Ibarra Garcia. Rodolfo Martinez Maciel. Brett Donovan Busi. Linda Jean Facundo. Gumara Canela. Danielle Marari Canela Diaz. And Carla Yvonne
Salinas.
Yvonne Salinas. The grand jury charges that at all times material to this indictment, the defendants herein, Maria Leticia,
You gotta go through all that.
Great. And others were members and associates of a transnational criminal organization and associates engaged in mail fraud, international forced labor trafficking, and money laundering, among other crimes within the Southern District of Georgia, Middle District of Georgia, Northern District of Georgia, Middle District of Florida, Southern District of Texas, Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and elsewhere.
Now watch this. Let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Because what you have to understand is, why are they doing this? Why is it that your own people will put you in this predicament, right? And I don't want you to sleep. They only got in trouble because it needed to be out there. This is just how it always is. Even a regular job is the same thing. Making minimum wage is the same thing. You can't survive off of it. You understand? Go ahead. 28, 15, and then read 54.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
See, all those migrant workers, the people that are hiring the migrant workers, go ahead.
To observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
Go ahead.
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
And that's what's going to happen, right? Read that. Hold on. Go back up. Let's get to these curses. Let's get to some of these curses. 28 and 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Cursed shall y'all be in the city. Go ahead.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Curse in the field. Right? Go ahead.
Cursed shall thy basket and thy store.
Hold on. Just go straight to, yeah.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you,
Right?
and very delicate,
You heard all those names. You heard all those Northern Kingdom names. Right? I'm not going to assume that all of them are NK, but I will say some of them could be. So this is what you get from that. Read.
his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
So you'll see that just like people be like, oh, the Hispanics ain't our people. They had us in slavery. Well, last time I checked, Northern Kingdom did enslave Southern Kingdom brothers. even in scriptures. So for people to act as if it's such an off thing or weird thing to hear, you're sadly mistaken, right? It's just what happens with us. It's what we do. We do shit, right? We always trying to get over on the next person. What they call it? People call people scammers, but you already know what we really call them: finessers. Because a finesser is a scammer. Go ahead.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom,
And toward the wife of his bosom. Go ahead.
and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
Yeah, man. And now guess what? When you put yourself in that predicament, where if you're the person that's enslaving your people or making them work in harsh conditions for an extra dollar, because you got to understand, you paying them 20 cents a barrel, right? 20 cents a bucket, right? Do you know how much you're bringing in? You got to understand something. I'm just going to guess here that you have people that come in and plant the product, right? They plant the product. Then, after those people have ran their course, it's not like you need them out every day of the year. The stuff has to grow. Now you have the new people come in, you know what I'm saying, to put in that work. But go ahead.
God. Verse 55.
Hold on. Baruch 3 and 8.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us.
Read that again.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We are yet this day in our captivity. Go ahead.
Where thou hast scattered us.
We were scattered into this situation, man. We all over the place. But guess what? You're going to hear a lot more of this stuff happening with us over here. Right? Go ahead.
For a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
Now, you hear what they said. Their passports and all that identification stuff was taken from them. They were held at gunpoint. You understand? Girls were getting raped. A couple people died, were murdered. And all of a sudden, now we're hearing about this 2 years later? As if this stuff wasn't going on. We already know, like it said in the beginning of the docket, everybody comes here with hopes of a better life. So nobody is assuming that I'm going to be taken advantage of and this, that, and the other. You know, go ahead. We done reading Baruch. There's more on it. Go ahead.
And to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
That's it. All right. Go ahead.
Get Amos 5, start from verse 11 of the NLT.
That's why I say this pertains to us even to this day. Not just the migrant workers, but all of us. You know? Some might be able, are like, you'll see some Northern Kingdom they work so damn hard, but at the same time, you know, they be killing themselves for their job. But then they have their house, and all of us live in one house until a couple of us make it, because we're making good money. We're making $3,000 every 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Doing that construction stuff. You know, it's like when you wake up in the morning and you driving to work, and you go to like the little donut shop or something, or the coffee shop, and all the Northern Kingdom brothers are standing there just waiting for somebody to pick them up to take them to Home Depot, or they standing in front of Home Depot waiting for somebody to pick them up to go work. They know somebody's gonna pick them up to go work. They have the skills to get the job done, but they ain't got no papers. They can't legally do it. But guess what? Some Caucasian person is gonna drive up in this truck, tell a couple of them to jump on the back of his truck. He gonna shoot them some cash at the end of the day, and they gonna work their ass off. Now imagine if you are documented and you can do it legally. Now you able to sustain your house, and then sometimes you see Northern Kingdom staying up in San Clemente or something, staying up in a good little neighborhood like Irvine, you know, where it's predominantly Caucasian, and Yazzie are. You know? Just making sure y'all awake, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead. Read your scripture, Amos.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 5 and verse 11 out of the NLT. You trample the poor, stealing their grain through taxes and unfair rent. Therefore, though you build beautiful stone houses, you will never live in them. Though you plant lush vineyards, you will never drink wine from them. Verse 12. For I know the vast number of your sins and the depth of your rebellions. You oppress good people by taking bribes and deprive the poor of justice in the courts.
Read it again.
God. You trample the poor, stealing their grain through taxes and unfair rent.
What? Yeah, you see that Rafa Hall?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Got killed today.
Yeah. Who did?
Slim 400.
Supposedly in the 60s.
Yeah.
Therefore, though you build beautiful stone houses, you will never live in them. Though you plant lush vineyards, you will never drink wine from them. Verse 12. For I know the vast number of your sins and the depth of your rebellions. You oppress good people by taking bribes and deprive the poor of justice in the courts.
Read it again.
God. You trample the poor, stealing their grain through taxes and unfair rent. Therefore, though you build beautiful stone houses, you will never live in them. Though you plant lush vineyards, you will never drink wine from them. For I know the vast number of your sins and the depth of your rebellions.
You see now, you see who it's talking about, right? This is Israel to Israel. You understand? You trample the poor, stealing their grain through taxes and unfair rent, right? Because I want y'all to sleep. Those people that those migrant workers paid a hefty price to even get to the U.S. And then you get here and this is how you're treated by your own people. And to think that, and like I said, man, this only is allowed to happen because of the place that you're in, the country you're in, the world that you're in, right? The leadership that's above you. That's why these things can happen and continue to happen. You got a precept? All right, get that. Go ahead.
I can recall like decades back.
Make sure you're loud enough, I hope.
I can decades back in rural Georgia where they got all the farms and all the agriculture. We driving on like Highway 16 in the woods forever. Then all of a sudden, it pop open and it's a little town where everything is Spanish. The restaurant, the stores, everything. You know it's all migrant workers. I'm talking about this is in the early 2000s. They've been doing this, you know what I mean? They had a whole setup, a whole Greyhound bus station that don't do nothing but go back and forth to picking the immigrants up from the airport. They got the whole town set up where they live, and it's just like the article say, it's basically a prison camp.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy too, because the article also says that I'm not sure when this went into motion, but they've been planning this specific operations like 2015.
Yeah, they've been doing it for decades.
Yeah, always.
Agriculture.
You know, and listen, just like the crack epidemic, they're gonna let it go on for a while until they need to shut it down. But they know what's going on. They're of it. Other people think they're not. They very much are. We get continue with the docket.
All right. This is number 2. The purpose of the Patricio TCO was to make money from illegal activities, including mail fraud.
The way you say mail, it sounds like you saying like man fraud. So you gotta say mail like mail fraud. You know what I'm saying? We sound the same. It's just a little twang to it though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Those are synonyms.
you know.
They sound the same.
I don't know, man. I just don't like the way he's saying it, bro. You don't like it either, right? Yeah. It's like mail fraud. What you mean, mail fraud?
Oh my God. All right.
Read.
All right.
Ain't gonna slip that one past me.
Crazy, bro. I don't know. The purpose of the Patricio TCO was to make money from illegal activities, including mail fraud, forced labor, and money laundering.
Mail fraud, forced labor, and what? Money laundering.
Money laundering.
Mail fraud, all right? Not mail fraud. See, he know, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? He hear it, bro, he hear it. You hear how you saying it.
Mail fraud.
Every time you say mail fraud, I'm thinking like
fraud.
It's a dude.
Mail fraud.
See, man, you just you don't know how to talk, bro. It's all good. Just keep reading. You're gonna be a great reader at the end of all this, man.
Oh my God! All right.
In dicks. Nah.
Patricio TCO fraudulently used the H-2A visa program to smuggle foreign nationals from Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras into the United States under the pretext
Yeah, sitting up big, smiling, huh? Listen. Go ahead. I was gonna say some other shit.
the Patricio TCO further sought to make money by exploiting these foreign workers and then laundering the illegal proceeds.
And then laundering the illegal proceeds. Half this stuff is with the cartel and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You already know them people that was in charge are U.S. citizens, or at least got they green card or whatever. But then where they get the land from? So they had to be funded from somewhere. There's so much stuff that go into this stuff, man. Go ahead.
Labor trafficking and the H-2A visa program. Foreign nationals could not work in the United States without prior authorization from the United States government. Foreign nationals could obtain work authorization in the United States.
You gotta. You can't rush through it, bro.
It's like that was
Foreign nationals could. You know what I'm saying?
Foreign nationals could obtain work authorization in the United States if a qualifying sponsor, an employer based in the United States, petitioned the United States government for a non-migrant visa on their behalf.
Yeah, I've been asked that before. The job wanted me to do that. when I was doing photography for the hotels, you know. But then my mother was my petition, so you know, I'm still going through that right now. You know what I mean? But go ahead. It ain't about me. It ain't about me. You know? It ain't about me.
A non-immigrant visa that authorized foreign nationals to work for an agriculture employer was called an H-2A visa. To petition the United States government for non-immigrant H-2A visas for foreign workers, qualifying sponsors based in the United States completed a form on which they claimed they were seeking foreign workers for work authorization under penalty of law.
Nah, you know, it's so funny, right? Why you think, like, it don't even take forever for them to petition and get the go ahead? Because I don't want y'all to sleep. All those people in the NBA or the NFL, or especially the NBA, that got them weird ass names, all of them are here off of work visas. And because their bosses can afford to petition for them, it's easier for them to just get you know what I'm saying? To get straight. Aubrey Vark Tech. Say Pataro. Go ahead. She's sharp. Come on. Come on.
Super, we on number 4.
Come on, where we at?
Oh yeah, under penalty of law, that the information provided in the form was truthful and accurate, and then mailed their form and supporting documentation to the United States government for processing.
I can't imagine what it takes for you to do all of this. Get the people here, because they got their visas. That's why they were able to come over here to work. Then you hope. Listen, go ahead.
This form was called I-129, Petition for Non-Immigrant Worker Petition. Based on these petitions, the United States would issue non-immigrant H-2A visas to foreign workers, authorizing the workers to enter the United States and perform paid work for an agriculture employer harvesting crops for a specific period of time.
Listen, how many times y'all been on Craigslist or Indeed or anything and saw jobs for agricultural workers? Huh? All the time. It's on there?
Not all the time.
You just said all the time. I ain't never seen that before. Picking oranges and stuff?
No. It's on there.
It's on there sometime. You said all the time.
Not all the time. Track that statement.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. Or even on Indeed. Listen, man. Listen. We'll find out right now. Yeah. Just go to Indeed.
Underground job.
Listen.
It's on the back page.
Yeah, agriculture.
Stuff like this. That's probably what it is.
Agricultural specialist.
Yeah, it's shit like
Yeah,
that. I'm like, I
there
seen
it
stuff
is.
like that. I was like, I know I seen something about agriculture,
Nah, not picking.
but it's not that. It's something different.
That's the back page. Back page. Back page.
Yeah, nah.
It's an indictment.
We are. Back page had an indictment. You know?
So
That's why I ain't no more back page.
So this is different. This is not okay.
Wow.
Hey man, I was on Indeed searching for the jobs, man. I was saying something about agriculture.
Say, get an engineer. Look at Texas, it's got a whole different feel.
That's somebody in that laboratory.
All right, go ahead.
All right, let's see something. Got
All right, number 6. Under the lawful H-2A visa program, a qualifying sponsor or employer was required to pay the foreign worker under the terms of the contract, typically $10 to $12 per hour, with pay stubs that accurately listed their pay, hours worked, deductions, and earnings.
Listen, there's a site that you can create fake pay stubs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just snitching. Yeah.
Right now.
You know? It ain't my fault. You know? But then you're going to tell somebody, all right, you're going to make $10 to $12 an hour. $10 to $12 an hour in that field. Scratch the 20 cents a bucket. We talking about $10 an hour.
They would have 50 buckets in the house.
Yeah, but still,
It's impossible.
$10 an hour in the heat in 2021. I don't care what state you live in. You're not going to live off of $20 an hour. I mean, $15, $12, $10 an hour. You're not going to. And that's why people have low income housing, right? Why shouldn't we all just want something better? We live under the next person, next to the next person. And in my apartment, I can hear my neighbor snore. I can hear my neighbor snore. That's what I'm saying. Listen, indictment. I'm fortunate that I have not heard nothing powerful in these neighbors' houses, man. Good Lord. Oh man, that'd be so uncomfortable. Oh, you adults over there, ain't you? You doing that adult stuff. Indicting them. You wilding right now. You wilding right now, all right. All right, but in all seriousness, right? This is what you know, this is the position that we've been placed in, you know, to live under and next to somebody that can hear you, see you, eavesdrop on you. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be your own plot of land right here, as if there's not enough land in America to do it. I find it so funny when I'm driving through some nice neighborhood and you know they paid $1 million plus for their house. And then it's a wall with a fence that separates the next house. Like they can literally, you still hear your neighbors. Remember the video of the dude who was shoveling his snow, who was standing across the street from the other person? And then the woman was talking all that shit. You're a pussy. Yeah. He went and grabbed his gun, shot initially with his pistol, shot both of them, then went back in the house, grabbed the AR-15, walked up to her face. Yeah, pussy what? Bomb! You know what I'm saying? Went to the husband, shot him. And then the dude went inside the house and then killed himself when the police finally came. Like, I'm sitting here in an apartment. You niggas is killing yourselves and y'all got houses? That's my mentality. When the did life get so hard? that's what you're doing, bro. Listen, I'm delivering, bro. I'm walking through. I'm just like, oh, y'all doing it big right here, ain't you? You got 3-story house right here. That's nice. I like this. When I ride through, I see a house. I'm not feeling that house. See another one. Yeah, I like the way that the front is set up. You know what I'm saying? It's nice and feng shui. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? See another one. You'd be like, why would you put a little table here with chairs, man? It's like you don't see nothing. You sitting here in the front of your house. It's whack. But that's my mentality because I don't have that and I never have. So when I look at things, I'd be like, that would be nice. I don't want what they have. But if I can have my own, I take bits and pieces from other people's, you know what I'm saying? So, that's the same thing that those migrant workers are looking for, what they can have in the future. There's no way you're going to sustain yourself off of doing that every single day. And these ain't no 14, 15-year-old migrant workers. These are adults. And then because you're put in a position where you ain't got your paperwork because they done took your stuff. You understand? Same reason, same way that when you got illegally brought over here, you know what I'm saying? So, society's just screwed up, man. Screwed up. And we do it to each other. And our enemies do it to us. We get that. Scripture where society screwed us over. Isaiah 42:22.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. And they are hid in prison houses.
They're hid in prison houses.
They are for prey, and none deliver it. For spoil, and none saith, restore. Verse.
Yeah, Nehemiah 5:5. Let's see if I want a different translation. NLT.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 5 and verse 5 out of the NLT. We belong to the same family as those who are wealthy.
We belong to the same family as those who are wealthy. Go ahead.
And our children are just like theirs.
Ain't no difference between us and y'all. We all family. Go ahead.
Yet we must sell our children into slavery.
And that's what they've had to do. Go ahead.
Just to get enough money to live.
Just to get money to live. They will, listen, they can bust their ass in their country, but guess what? They're making pennies on the dollar, right? You come to the U.S. to bust your ass to make money to send it back. In Jamaica, the ratio is 1 to 60. So $1 American is 60 Jamaican dollars. So you take $10 to Jamaica and you got some money. 10 cents, you got some money. And we used to smoke weed. You go to Jamaica, with $5. They're about to put weed up in your hand like this, you see. You know? But in Florida, all eat for that. I agree. You know? Nigga, I read. But then you get to the US, this the nickel back. But watch. But see, everybody be like, yeah, Jamaica. Hey, listen, man, the Bahamas, nigga, the dollar value is still a dollar. You ain't special around us. You know what I'm saying? That's why we act like we better than everybody else. You know? But yeah, man, that's 60-to-1 ratio. What is it? You got no damn Northern Kingdom here? You light skinned. You ain't got it? You got that one? Y'all don't know the dollar ratio for Mexico? Yeah, but even if you convert it,
like 10,000 or 1,000 so pesos make $1. It's crazy. Yeah, go up and down. It's not
yeah, because
8,000 pesos is like 4,000 US dollars. It's really not sad. Like my son here.
2103 equals a dollar. That's crazy.
So
yeah. So just imagine how much that dollar is worth more. You know what I'm saying? So you want to get that dollar, that US dollar, that US printed dollar. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The pound is worth more than the dollar. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you know, but that's what it boils down to, man. So people are making those moves, and go ahead, keep reading that, man. You finished it?
No.
Con.
We have already sold some of our daughters, and we are helpless to do anything about it.
We ain't got no might in our hand, right? You know what scripture say? And there shall be no might in thy hand. Read.
For our fields and vineyards are already mortgaged to others. That was the selection.
You really been falling out with this reading stuff, man. Indictment, man. Indict, yeah. Indict.
I was making sounds out of the conversation.
This man just said. How you say mortgage? Mortgage.
Mortgage.
I saw the T, dude.
I saw the
It's like, who put these dumb words together? Who puts a T next to a G?
It ain't, bro. I saw two T's.
More titties.
I saw two.
Oh yeah, more.
No, I saw two T's though.
Esau,
Sure.
mortgated.
Yeah, mortgated. Yeah, man. So, hold on. Read this right. Read this.
Prevalence. The Global Slavery Index 2018 estimates that on any given day in 2016, there were 403,000 people living in conditions of modern slavery in the United States. A prevalence of 1.3 victims of modern slavery for every 1,000 in the country.
Listen, and you already know that shit ain't real. You understand? Because like I said before, the predicament that we're in and the conditions that we're in show that even those that make $15 an hour, that's still slavery, man. It's still slavery. You can't do nothing. Let's see. Y'all think it's a game. Y'all think it's a game. This is California. All right? This is California. 1 bedroom, 1,400. Yeah, in the cheapest place, right? 1 bedroom, 1,400, right? Let's do some math. Yeah, that's LA. That's for sure LA. 1,400. Now let's see, $15 an hour times 40 is 600.
So about 30,000 a year.
Time 52 weeks.
Take 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Round it up.
50 weeks. Yeah, but then now you got to deal with the taxes,
You ain't paying no tax,
especially in California.
You ain't paying no tax.
Oh, they're still taking something out.
Payroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, they take on the payroll,
Social
so you
Security.
your taxes, that's what you keep back. Now y'all get all of it, you don't make enough. So they give
You don't
something.
never get all of it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, let's say, okay, so let's say 30, right? 30. 14 times 1,400 times 12 is 16.
More than that.
All right. So 30 minus 16, 8 is 13 too.
That's just paying.
Now watch. My car is 600. All right.
Just say 3.
Let's do some math. Hold on,
Say
man.
somebody got a buck.
Times 12. 7,200. 7,200, right? So, listen. Who is that? 13,800, right? Minus 72, 66, right? 6,600, right? That's your gas, your food, your electricity, your phone, Pampers, clothes.
Gas by itself gonna take a $500.
Right, I know, bro, and I never fill up my tank. I never
Easy.
fill up my tank,
Easily 100 something a week. Gas.
bro. So, yeah, listen. So, all I'm saying is, you see the cash up at the bottom of the screen, y'all. Listen, this is California, Cali. You know what I'm saying? Those migrant workers, they was in Georgia, and then the one earlier that was Florida, right? So it's like these things are happening because people are looking for something better, something more sustainable, something that they can make money and send it back because of the dollar value, the exchange. You understand? And then at the same time, you're never guaranteed any of this. I stopped smoking weed so I can make a better pay. I make $1 more. So it's, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we have to be very mindful of spending. But how? You know what I'm saying? But how? What is VOG?
Kids are able to do
Yeah, man. So with that, those people were arrested. You know, justice might be served one day. We won't know until we know. And at the same time, it doesn't stop there. This is something that's going to continue to happen. This ain't been the first time. It ain't going to be the last time. You know what I'm saying? Now with that, now what I'm saying is how it works out. This nigga's already. And with that, I want to say, call Allah Yahweh, but Hashem Mashiach Yahweh Zad, and Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, man, we gotta do better.